Connor, Mike, there are mixed emotions here, but overall, people seem to be happy with these results. People say that they're just happy to see a good group of candidates on the Democratic ballot. They say they've actually been out knocking on people's doors, trying to spread the word about these candidates. Democrats from several groups are here, like the Madison County Democratic Women, Greater Huntsville Democrats, UAH College Democrats, and the North Alabama Young Democrats. We talked to one man who says he's excited that Vice President Joe Biden won here in Alabama. He says he believes Democrats are more likely to win with Biden in the general election against President Donald Trump.
I have coworkers who believe that Hillary Clinton murders people. I mean, that's unfortunately just where we were, where there's just been this rampant disinformation campaign about her. And thankfully, Joe Biden doesn't have the same kind of baggage. And I think that people who were perhaps swayed by negative thoughts, Russian trolls, whatever it was, I don't think that will be as pervasive this time around. And I think we can finally remove Donald Trump from the White House.
They're also taking up donations here for Senator Doug Jones at the watch party to help expand the Democratic Party in Alabama. And Biden didn't just do well here. He won in other states like North Carolina and Virginia. Putting the Valley first, live in Huntsville, Kelly Kennedy, WZDX News.